good at that?
Yeah, I'm not really good at making stuff up on the fly, but I'll do my best. So we're doing Edge Weapons Overview 2025. This is the first class of the year. Asa was a guy that I worked with when I was a San Diego cop for a brief period of time. He was asking about the stand-up strategy that I use. It's consistent with my jiu-jitsu sports strategy. And we're gonna go and use 3 techniques to get an off balance. If it actually knocks them down, if we get the takedown, that's cool. That's not really my expectation. My expectation is that I get them to stutter step or I break their posture, throwing them out of balance. Once they're out of balance, I'll use that opportunity to get a higher probability takedown. It's 3 and 3. The 3 that I use for off balancing is going to be a snap down, an Uchimata variation, or a knee tap. Starting with an underhook, I'll take a back step to force weight onto his lead leg. I'll then step beyond the point of his foot, putting my hand in front of the knee and doing a shot put with my underhook arm. That forces him to stutter step. Now, you can certainly get a takedown from the knee tap if you go 100% and you practice it all the time, but it can be a little bit tricky if it's not something you're willing to spend time on. What I want is that stutter step that he did. That stutter step is what allows me to find an exit and get to his back. Second, a snap down. If he's hinged over, I will get a collar tie and I'm gonna pull him down to the ground. If he goes to the ground, cool. If he doesn't, he's going to raise back up, and when he does, that's my chance to find an escape to the back. Finally, I'll look at a variation of an Uchimata. Yeah, most traditional Uchimatas, you're gonna have the guy relatively hinged over. You'll enter, break his posture down, and throw him over. Since I don't do judo regularly, I don't want to spend the time required to get good at it. I kind of do a lazy man Uchimata. I pop in, hop, and I stay vertical, and I drive my hip into him, getting that stutter step. As he recovers, that's when I find my exit. Once we've gotten our exit, we're going to finish to the ground or finish to the back using one of 3 things. A duck under, whether it's an underhook duck under, an overhook duck under, or a tie side duck under, an arm drag, whether it's a traditional arm drag or a pushing arm drag, or a single leg where I drop down, catch that leg, and then we'll go from there. With the duck under and arm drag, that's going to put you on his back or on his flank with your head on the outside. With the single leg, you're probably going to have your head in front unless it's off of a back take. We'll use all of those to actually get them to the ground. I think this is a really good strategy if you're not going to spend a significant amount of time developing your stand-up game. All of these are really low risk if you don't do them right. You're not going to worry about them grabbing onto your head. You're not going to worry about them necessarily doing any low-level takedowns. Obviously, if it's a sophisticated guy who trains, that's going to be a lot harder to deal with. But these are going to get the job done. Every time that you're engaged with someone, you're trying to create an opening by making an arcing or angular movement in relation to them. They cannot allow that, so they're going to respond by trying to square up to you. So if we started square without worrying about the hands, if I get to his flank, he is going to have to square back up to me. That is a predictable response that we can take advantage of and look for an escape or a takedown. My opportunity happens 2 times. Once, when I move to his flank, right now we're squared, you're not going to move. I move to his flank, that is an opportunity for me to do something. Or I move to his flank, I wait for him to recover, and then I make my escape when he recovers. So there's always going to be 2 points or 2 openings for you to do a takedown or an escape to his back. Once when you move, or once when he moves in relation to you because he's trying to square up to your flanking position. When we're doing a single leg for combatives or self-defense, and I think it's really good for jiu-jitsu guys, I'm going to keep my head pretty high on the person. I want to keep it as high as possible. I have raised and rounded shoulders, wrinkles in the back of my neck. I'm looking up, not down, facing his center line. I will go low enough that my hands can reach. That's as low as I need to be. From there, I drive into him and I have a slight plank into him. This gives me really, really good control. If I'm able to do this from a body lock, I just drop down low enough for my hands to grip. And then from there, I'm going to lift straight up. And then they'll fall forward. I am trying to pick him up from the hip bone, but I can't actually reach in and grab his hip bone. That's why my hands are clamping as high as they can on his leg. When we sink down, we want to have connection from our head into our chest, into our hips as we grab. And we just go straight up and tilt. You know you do it right because the guy will flop around. Once their hands are on the ground, then it's up to you from where you go. If it's a sporting event, one of my favorite is we tilt them, his hands go to the floor, reach for that far side hip, we roll down, and now we have a good back there. Cool.